getting our workout in here at Olympus Reptiles, doing some stair steps. I have to keep a stool around, a step stool, because when Kurt needs to film up high, he's got to climb up on it. So I thought I'd get a little bit of a workout. We had a viewer request for video showing the difference between a high quality and a low quality example of a morph. So I kind of thought about that. Thought that's a pretty good topic. And some of them are very clear. Like, you know, anybody can look at two pastels usually and pick out the nicer one. It's the one that's the brightest as adult. You know, not the one that browns out the most. They all change, they all brown out, but a good pastel should show good color. Same with an axanthic. You know, you can put an axanthic by a normal. You should be able to pick out the axanthic pretty easy, and the best axanthic is the one that's the most silver. But it gets a little trickier on some morphs. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover with this question, how I wanted to approach it. I'm going to approach it using spider. I'll show you what I mean. I think a high quality spider is very dependent on the project you're working. I'm going to show you two examples of, actually I'm going to show you more than that. Let me get this girl out here. Okay, this is a bumblebee. And you can see she's a really nice bee. Her pastel's really good, really bright color for an adult. But what I want you to notice is a spider gene on her, how much white she has in the sides. Some people like high white, some people don't. I'm going to tell you, I choose my high whites depending on what I'm going to breed with. High white isn't that important to me, but it does make a difference if I'm choosing my pairings, because I want to build the highest quality examples of combos and morphs I can. So with this particular bumblebee, because she is so high white in the sides, I mean it comes up almost halfway already, I'm pairing her with a calico. The reason being is I'm hoping with her being high white, passing on high white spider genetics, and I put a calico in it, I'll get calibees and caliders that are really, really high white. That's what I want. I want basically pattern that's outlined. So I chose a high white spider as a quality example of the morph for that project. But depending on the project you're going to do, it doesn't really matter. I'll show you what I mean. This spider here is an extremely low white spider. A really full belly from a week ago. As a matter of fact, it has almost no white on it. So this spider, I love this little thing, would be a really bad choice, in my opinion, to pair for a calico if you're going to go for calibees and that sort of thing. Because, man, you need to poop. I gave it a huge meal last week. I may actually skip it this week because it ate a big meal. But it'd be a poor choice if you were going to do calibees. I want to start with the highest white already and enhance that white by the calico. However, this one's a true ghost project. Now, if I do a true ghost spider, I really don't want high whites. I want to make it all uniform in that really nice true ghost silvery color. And if you have a lot of that silver, a lot of that white, it kind of makes the silver not pop as much. So I'm really kind of happy that this spider shows almost no white. So whether or not it's quality depends on your eye and your project. Something else I personally look for in my spiders for every project, although my bee one didn't show it as much, is I don't like noise. I want them to be a very, 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 very reduced pattern. What I mean is I like all these lines. What I don't like are alien head spots. I hate them on my spiders. So I try to keep back spiders that don't have the little alien head dots. And I'll show you what happens when you do that over time. My male breeder, he's got quite a few of those. Okay, he's in shed. And he looks like a pile of crap right now because he's in shed. He's nice high white, if you want the high white. This is one of my breeders for bumblebees. But see how he's got all those spots? I personally don't like the alien head spots. Some do. I don't. So when I kept my holdbacks back from him, I selected ones that didn't show that trait. So I can breed that trait out of my spiders. You've got to take a dump. You are not getting fed this week. You needs to poop bad. And a good example would be, you know what? I'll go with this girl. You can see that she doesn't display. She displays some of that dotting. Probably not my best choice in it. You can see some of those dots in there. But not too bad. That's my killer bee. I was kind of forced to pick her. She was the only one that came out. But actually she's really nice because the blushing is really high. Where's one? Oh, I remember which one I wanted to show off for that. This one. Probably my favorite pure spider I've ever made. It's also a double het, so it's het for albino and het for axanthic. But as you can see, there is no No dots, no noise in it at all. None, 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 none. And an extremely reduced pattern. The other thing I like in my spiders is when and she's, again, this is like, for me, the epitome of this morph. I like when those lines drop all the way down. Coming all the way down, wrapping into the belly. Into the white and everything else. I think it looks nice when they do that. So that's what I also like, and you can see she displays a lot of that, and none of that noise. So for me, personally, this is a perfect spider. For others, it's not. So what's a quality morph on a lot of these morphs really, really, really depends on what you want to put it into and what project you're working, and what's good to your eye. Some are very simple. Pastels, simple. Brighter's better. No denying that whatsoever. And there are some really, really shitty pastels out there anymore. But there's also still some very nice ones. And one thing I would say when you're picking snakes, if you're going to breed, if you're going to buy a pet, man, pick the snake that you like its personality best and the look of it. You know, it doesn't matter if it's your pet. You're going to love it because it's your pet. But if you're going to breed and you want to make things, you know, top notch, when you go to a show and you're looking at snakes and you see this pastel over here and this pastel over here, maybe this one's $10 higher, just completely forget about the $10 higher. It doesn't matter. Pick which one's the best quality. Hey, what you guys don't know is my camera guy just had like a coughing fit. It happens. I think it was because I had that cold for a few weeks now. He's got it. But what we were talking about is when you go to that show and you're going to pick out your breeder, and you have like 2 pastels there, or maybe 2 spiders at different tables, and that's what you're wanting some nice base morphs, and maybe one's $10 or $15 higher, like one pastel over here is more expensive than this pastel. Don't make your decision based on the price. Unless there's a huge difference, and I understand, but if it's a small difference, don't make your decision based on that price. And here is the greatest reason why. You're going to save 15 bucks and maybe get a crappier example. Or maybe the nicer example, what you want to do is a cheaper one. I'm saying pick the best example for your project regardless of the price. And the reason I'm saying that, because you're saying, oh yeah, you just want to make more money. I don't really care. Because you're going to save $15 today, right? Maybe you got the lower quality one. You're still going to put a whole bunch of rats in that snake. You're still going to pay for the care of that snake. And then you're going to make lower quality babies because you cheaped out on the 15 bucks. And at the end of the day is such a small percentage when you could have made the higher quality babies that you're really after. So pick your snake based on its traits, not on the price tag. Price has to be a part of the function, but it shouldn't be the driving force if they're within reason. You can always negotiate that a little bit too. All right, Kurt, you got any questions about quality in a morph?
Nope.
What do you think? Is this your ideal spider?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Would you change anything? Is your eye different than mine?
No.
Damn it, Kurt. Kurt's supposed to say, I'd do this different, but he didn't help me out there. Again, beauty's in the eye of the beholder on a lot of these kind of things. But for me, this is as good as it gets, which is why I kept her. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.